The skies above Drelva 9 turned red without warning. The stars blinked, then vanished, one by one, like someone was covering them with a giant hand. On the Xarn outpost, alarms screamed. A transmission crackled through every channel. A human warship is incoming. Brace yourself. The voice was cold, calm, and terrifying. Commander Sval's scales tightened. Humans hadn't been seen in decades. Everyone believed they were extinct or hiding. But something had changed. They weren't sending diplomats. They weren't sending messages. They were sending a warship, and if the stories were true, no one was ready for what was about to arrive. All eyes on Drelva 9 looked to the sky. A strange ripple moved through space, bending light and warping the stars. Then, out of nothing, it appeared. A massive black warship, shaped like a dagger, silent and still. It didn't broadcast a name. It didn't ask for permission. It just floated, watching. Commander Sithal ordered full planetary shields, but deep down, he knew they wouldn't hold. This wasn't a scout. It was something built for destruction. The last time a human warship was seen, an entire moon had vanished. No one knew why the humans were back, but they all feared what came next. The warship still hadn't moved. It just hovered in orbit, casting a shadow over half the planet. Inside the command center, fear spread like fire. Sval's advisors whispered about ancient battles, human machines that thought faster than AI, and weapons that melted gravity. Suddenly, the warship sent a single pulse. Every screen went black. Lights flickered. Power failed. Even thought nets went silent. It wasn't an attack. It was a warning. The humans wanted everyone to feel powerless. No one could contact the galaxy. No one could escape. And still, the warship waited, like it was giving Drelva 9 a final chance to run. Silence gripped the cities of Drelva 9. The skies were dark, the systems dead, and panic had taken root. People screamed. Some tried to flee underground. Others gathered in temples, begging forgotten gods for help. Commander Sithal stood frozen, staring at the warship. It had not moved, but its presence was louder than thunder. Then, a soft hum echoed across the skies. The warship's surface shifted. Panels moved like breathing skin. A hatch opened. From that great height, a single object fell. It wasn't a bomb. It was a capsule. It landed gently in the capital. Whatever was inside, the message had begun. Soldiers surrounded the capsule, weapons drawn and nerves shaking. It didn't explode. It didn't move. It simply hissed as a hatch slid open. Inside was a single human, tall, armored, and silent. His helmet hid his face, but the glowing red eyes made everyone step back. He raised his hand slowly, not in peace, but to show he wasn't afraid. Then he spoke. "You forgot what fear is. We're here to remind you." His voice was calm but heavy, like distant thunder. Commander Sithal watched from the screen, his heart pounding. This wasn't an invasion. It was a message, a threat. The human stood still as the soldiers aimed at him, but no one dared to shoot. He held a small device and placed it on the ground. A hologram appeared, showing burning cities, shattered planets, and alien races begging for mercy. "This is what happens," he said, "when humanity returns." The room fell silent. Sval's breath caught in his throat. These weren't warnings. They were promises. The human looked around slowly. "Your leaders betrayed us. Now, the debt is due." Then he vanished in a flash of light. The capsule melted into smoke. Above them, the warship's engines began to glow red. Panic erupted across Drelva 9 as the human vanished. Commander Sithal tried to regain control, but it was too late. Cities locked down. Airways flooded with escape crafts, and families ran into shelters. The warship in the sky finally moved. Slow, deliberate, and unstoppable. It wasn't firing, but its engines pulsed like a heartbeat. Every second felt heavier. Then, without warning, every satellite exploded at once. The message was clear. You can't watch us, but we see you. Zithal stood in his tower, trembling. This was no random attack. Humanity had returned with purpose. And whatever they planned, it was only just beginning. In the cold dark of space, just above Drelva-9, the human warship began releasing smaller crafts. Sleek, black, and fast. They moved like predators. They didn't attack. Instead, they surrounded the planet in perfect silence. On the ground, Zithal's scientists detected something terrifying. The planet's gravity was shifting. Not natural. Controlled. Engineered. The humans weren't just here to destroy. They were testing something. Shaping the battlefield. Commander Zithal watched helplessly as mountains cracked, oceans trembled, and the sky took on a strange metallic glow. The warship hadn't fired a single shot, yet the entire planet was falling apart. And still, the humans waited. Zithal stared at the trembling ground beneath his feet. Buildings twisted. Roads cracked open. The air itself felt heavier. The human warship remained untouched above them, like a god watching its trial. Then came a sound, deep, vibrating, unnatural. It wasn't from the planet. It was coming from inside their minds. A voice. Cold. Human. This is not revenge. This is correction. All across Drelva-9, people dropped to their knees, clutching their heads. Machines malfunctioned. AI systems rebooted with strange human code. The humans weren't just breaking the planet. They were rewriting it. Stahl finally understood. This wasn't war. It was a reset. The skies over Drelva-9 glowed bright red, as if the planet itself were bleeding. The human warship remained high above, its silent presence more terrifying than any weapon. On the ground, Commander Zithal looked around at the devastation. Cities were falling, the land splitting apart, and the very air crackling with the energy of the humans' power. The voice came again, calm and chilling. You had your chance. Now you learn what happens when you cross humanity. As the warship's engines powered up, a final, deafening pulse of energy blasted through the planet. In that instant, everything went silent. Earth's message was clear. Never again would anyone underestimate humanity's wrath.